To make these earrings, we have a selection of Swarovski crystal beads here. We have 2 faceted cube beads that are turquoise and they're 8 millimeters. We have 2 faceted round beads that are crystal and they're 6 millimeters. We have 2 round spacer beads, and spacer beads are exactly that, a little spacer. These have rhinestones on them. The color is called transparent. They're 3 millimeters by 6 millimeters. We have 2 decorative head pins. These are tie silver. We have 2 earring wires, also silver. And for tools, we have chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, and wire cutters. When we designed these earrings, we picked out some special materials to make the design a little more interesting since the technique is super simple. For example, we picked out this decorative head pin because it just adds a lot more pizzazz than a plain head pin. We also picked out these beautiful round spacer beads, and these are called spacer beads because they sit between beads usually. These have rhinestones on them in clear or transparent color, but these come in all different sizes, shapes, and metals and finishes, which we think is really fun. So you can have a lot of fun when you're designing your earrings. These are like an antique brass or antique copper with a crystal AB color. You can get them in square. This is silver square with rhinestones around the sides. Super pretty. This is also silver but round, and the ones that we chose are clear, so just that rhinestone shows up, but sometimes you want a little bit of metal to show, so you might pick something like that. And then these 2 are eeny beeny tiny ones in gold and in copper. That can be really nice in a super delicate project, a really simple pair of earrings that are tiny or a tiny bracelet. Now to make the earrings, it's super easy. You start with the head pin, slide on the cube bead, and you can see it already has added so much pizzazz just by having that decorative tie silver detail at the bottom. Now we're going to add our spacer bead on top of our cube bead, followed by our faceted round crystal. And one of the nice things about these spacer beads is that they kind of cup this round bead, so the bead sort of nestles right in that spacer. So it makes it look very cohesive. It's really nice. Now all we have to do is make a wrapped loop to turn this into an earring. To do that, I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I'm going to grasp the wire of the head pin right above that round bead, and I'm going to press the end of the head pin up against, so the bead's pressing up against the round nose pliers, and that's so there's not a lot of wiggle room between my beads and my spacer. And now I'm going to bend the wire 90 degrees toward me. Then I'm going to reposition the pliers so they're at the top of that 90-degree bend that I just made. I'm going to take the head pin wire and I'm going to pull it up and over away from me, over that top jaw of the pliers. But you can see I can't get that wire all the way around because the pliers are in the way. So what I'm going to do is reposition the pliers so that the bottom jaw of my pliers is now in that loop. And that way I can finish the loop by pulling the wire all the way around. And now you can see we've got a nice little loop there. I'm going to grasp the wire across the loop with my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to wrap the tail of that head pin wire around the neck 2 times like that. And that's what makes this a wrapped loop. That loop is now wrapped and secure and won't come undone or fall off your earring. Now I'm going to take my wire cutters and I'm going to trim the wire. I'm going to try to trim as close as I possibly can to my work without cutting right through it, like that. And I've got a little bit of a tail sticking out there. That happens a lot, so I'm just going to use my chain nose pliers, which are these flat pliers, and I'm going to just press that end down so that it's not sticking out. And it should tuck right down in there. Now to make this into a proper earring, we're going to take one of our earring wires, and our earring wire came already open. If yours isn't open, you can go ahead and open it. It's kind of better to open it like you'd open a door by just sliding the loop sort of open that way rather than pulling it out. But you know, you can just do it whichever way works for you. I'm going to slide my earring onto my earring wire so it's nestled down in that loop. And then I'm just going to close the loop, whoops, on the earring wire by pressing it closed with my chain nose pliers. And there's our first earring. Beautiful. So now to make the second earring, I'll do it real quick so you can have a little recap. I've got my decorative head pin here. Add my faceted cube bead, then my spacer bead, like that, followed by my round faceted bead. Then I'm going to make a wrapped loop with my round nose pliers, grasping the head pin wire and pushing it so that there's not a lot of wiggle room between my beads and my spacer. I'm going to pull the wire, bend it toward me 90 degrees, reposition the pliers to the top of that bend, pull the wire around the top jaw, reposition the pliers to the bottom jaw, finish making my loop by pulling the wire around. Then I'm going to grasp that loop across with my round nose pliers, and I'm going to wrap the tail around the neck 2 times. Like that. Then I'm going to trim. Now I'm going to take my earring wire, slide on my little earring that I just made, and then close the loop on the earring wire like that with my chain nose pliers. And there is my gorgeous pair of crystal cube earrings.